When my dad's girlfriend told me I didn't belong in my own home anymore, I thought my world had ended. But what I did next changed everything. For me, for him, and for the word he always promised me. Always. I used to believe nothing could break the bond between me and my dad. Not divorce, not distance, not even the long business trips that kept him away for weeks at a time. He was my anchor, my safe place. When Mom told me one night, "I can't handle you anymore," and sent me packing, Dad opened the door without hesitation. He hugged me so tightly I could barely breathe and whispered, "You and me, kid, always." That word, always, wasn't just a promise, it was survival. So when he found someone new, I told myself it was fine. He deserved happiness. Maybe she could be good for us. At first, she smiled and asked me questions, acting like she wanted me around. But there were cracks. "Teenagers are so moody, aren't they?" She'd say with a laugh. "You still don't eat vegetables? That's surprising. Your dad and you are close. That's nice." The kind of words that sound harmless, but sting when you pile enough of them together. I swallowed it, for Dad's sake. Because if he was happy, I wanted to be happy for him too. But then came the night she destroyed everything. We were in the living room. She was rubbing her stomach, smiling with that dreamy glow people get when they think about the future. The baby, my sibling. I was nervous, but a little excited. Maybe this could mean more family, more love. Then she looked at me and said, casually, like it was nothing, "You should live with your mom once the baby is born." The air left my lungs. What? Her eyes didn't flinch. "It'll be better. For everyone. Your dad and I will need time to bond with the baby, to focus as a family. And honestly, it's better for the baby not to have too many people around." Too many people. Like I was clutter. My voice cracked. "So I'm what? In the way?" She gave me this pitying smile that made me want to scream. "Don't take it like that. You'll always be welcome. Just later, when things settle down." Later. The word hit me like a knife. Later, when the baby didn't need all her attention. Later, when Dad didn't need me anymore. I wanted to yell, to tell her she had no right. But the fear twisted deeper. What if Dad agrees with her? What if he already knows? That thought broke something inside me. I went upstairs and slammed my door, staring at the ceiling until my chest hurt. If they send me away, I'll never forgive him. Never. My phone sat on the nightstand. My hands trembled as I dialed the only person I could trust. My uncle. He answered on the second ring. "Hey, kiddo, what's going on?" The second I opened my mouth, it all spilled out. Her words. The way she looked at me. My fear that Dad might take her side. By the time I finished, my throat was raw. There was silence. Then his voice, sharp and angry. "She said that to you?" "Yeah," I whispered. "She hasn't told Dad yet, but maybe he knows. Maybe—" "I don't care what she thinks," he cut me off. "And if your father's letting this happen, then he's no better. Pack your stuff. I'm coming to get you." My heart pounded. "Wait, you're serious? Without telling him?" "Damn right," he snapped. "You're not staying there another night. 30 minutes. Be ready." I hesitated for 1 second. Shouldn't I give Dad a chance? But then that cold voice in my head whispered, if he cared, he'd already know. So I packed, clothes shoved into a bag with shaky hands. Every creak in the house made me jump. I half expected her to barge in, but the hallway stayed quiet. When headlights finally swept across the driveway, I grabbed my bag and bolted. My uncle's car door swung open. His face was fierce, protective. "You're with me now," he said as I slid into the seat. "If your dad wants to talk, he'll come through me. Until he fixes this, you don't owe him a damn thing." The house disappeared in the rearview mirror. My chest ached, but I didn't cry. Not yet. It didn't take long for Dad to notice. My phone buzzed nonstop with his calls and texts. I blocked him, but blocking him didn't stop reality. The next evening, tires crunched on my uncle's gravel driveway. Headlights cut through the window. He came, I whispered. My uncle stood, his jaw clenched. Stay inside. But I couldn't. My legs carried me to the door. I cracked it open just enough to see Dad's silhouette step out of his car. He looked tired, older, regret carved into his face. "Where is my kid?" His voice boomed across the yard. "Inside," my uncle shot back, stepping onto the porch like a shield. "And staying here until you fix the mess you made." Dad's eyes narrowed. "This is between me and my child, not you." "No," my uncle growled, his voice like steel. "It became my business the moment you let that woman tell your kid they don't belong in their own home. You think I'd stand by and watch that?" Dad looked past him then. His eyes locked on me in the doorway. His face softened. "Hey," he said, almost pleading. "Come on. You know I'd never let anyone take your place. You're my kid. Always." That word stabbed me. Always. The same word he'd said my whole life. But now it sounded hollow. Tears blurred my vision. "If that was true," I whispered, "you would have stopped her before she even said it. You would have known." Dad's face crumpled. "I didn't know. I swear I didn't. Please, just come home." My uncle's voice cut through like a blade. "Not until you prove your home has room for both of your children. Not until you choose." The air hung heavy. Dad stood frozen, torn between the family he was building and the one he was losing. I couldn't take it. I slammed the door. The echo rattled through the house and through my chest. My knees gave out, and I slid down against the wall, shaking. Behind me, my uncle laid a hand on my shoulder. "You did the right thing." Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But in that moment, I knew one thing for sure. Until Dad proved I mattered as much as the baby, I wasn't going back. And for the first time, always didn't belong to him. It belonged to me. You know, life has a way of teaching us lessons in the most painful ways. Sometimes the people we expect to fight for us don't. Sometimes the home we thought was ours no longer feels like home. And sometimes the people we believed would always protect us are the first ones to let us go. But here's the truth I learned that day. Family isn't just blood. It isn't about who shares your last name. It isn't about who lives under the same roof. Family is about who makes you feel safe, who stands up for you when the world is against you, who chooses you again and again without hesitation. I thought losing my place in my father's house would break me. I thought it would leave me empty and forgotten. But it didn't. Because in the silence, when I thought I had no one, my uncle opened his door. He didn't just give me a place to stay, he gave me something my own father couldn't: a choice, a voice, and a reminder that I still mattered. And maybe that's what life is all about. Not waiting for people to prove they love you, not begging for a place at someone else's table, but finding the courage to walk away and to build your own table with people who truly care. So, if you're listening to this and you've ever felt unwanted, if you've ever been told you don't belong, if you've ever been pushed aside by the very people you trusted the most, please remember this. Your worth is not decided by how others treat you. Your value is not measured by who accepts you or rejects you. And your family, your real family, might be waiting for you in the most unexpected place. Sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's a sibling, sometimes it's an uncle or an aunt, or even someone you meet later in life. But when you find them, you'll know, because they'll make you feel like you belong, without conditions. And as for me, I stopped waiting for my dad to choose me. I chose myself. and I chose to stay where love was loud enough, strong enough, and real enough to silence the doubts in my heart.
So, tonight, as I close this chapter of my story, I want to leave you with this. Never be afraid to walk away from a place where you feel unwanted, because the moment you step out of that darkness, you will find the light, and maybe, just maybe, you will finally find home. For more videos, like, share, and subscribe.